Good question.
You're talking about getting the blessings of the Lord for one's actions, and I guess that also would come through blessings of devotees. Could you elaborate on the need for having devotees' blessings in whatever one is doing, and how how to deal with that practically?
Man is not an island.
Man is not
an island. We're social creatures. Krishna, his topmost perfection is that he's always surrounded by devotees. To be absorbed in an isolated concept like the pictures of the impersonalists of just Om or Krishna on his own. This is a less than complete realization of the Supreme. So Krishna is always surrounded by his associates. So following in his footsteps, then our life is based on the blueprint of Krishna's activities. We're persons, we have family, we have friends, we have associates. So we need to understand how they impact, what's our responsibility, how we should respect the different elements of our environment. Self-respect, self-realization means that we understand that we're not an island, we are interdependent, we are connected with other elements of our environment. Immediately. So the interaction of one person with another, that's very significant. It's said that nothing happens by chance. We meet somebody, we interact. Bhakti Tirtha Swami used to say that we should consider that the way we deal with this person is going to affect upon our spiritual perfection for that day. Krishna has sent this person along, and our interaction can be spiritual, can be transcendental, can be less than up to scratch. So if we take advantage of that situation, we think we're praying, Krishna, please give me your blessings. So sometimes those blessings are right in front of us, and I've got to chant them around. Sorry, I can't take advantage of it at the moment. But every situation is created by Krishna, and how we respond to that. Krishna, he's not going to give it to us on a plate, on a platter. He's going to make arrangements which will push our buttons, which will respond to our particular mentality, our particular karma, our particular realization. And he wants to see how we respond to that. He'll give us distress, he'll give us happiness. How do we respond to that? So in the realm of personal dealings, how we'll respond to that, how we'll understand that I'm not the master, that I'm here and this is a situation where I can function in my constitutional position as a servant. So I've got to discriminate. Is this person more advanced? Are they on the same level, or are they less advanced? So therefore that colours the way that we interact. So for somebody who's more advanced, that means that they have more of what we are interested in terms of spiritual realization, in terms of access to the spiritual energy. Narada Muni, he was confronted by Ravan. Ravan was travelling and he said, Narada, tell me what's going on. Narada ignored him. So Ravan approached him again more aggressively, and Narada just ignored him. So eventually Ravan said, look, this is bogus. You're going to have to answer to your behaviour. Get ready to fight. And Ravan took out his sword and slashed at Narada, and it went straight through his middle. And Ravan said, what's going on? He tried again, and Narada unflinchingly just... So then Ravan took a javelin and he launched it at Ravan. Went through, launched it at Narada, went through him, and he caught it on the other side and handed it back to him. He said, careful, you might need this. So eventually Ravan, his passion just calmed down a little, and he said, what's going on? Please explain to me what's happening. And so then Narayana said, well, you're trying to attack this body, but it's a spiritual body. I'm not this body, I've got a spiritual body. So Ram said, that's what I want. Give it to me. Still, he hadn't had adjustment mentality, but then Narayana said, no. That's not the way you're going to get this knowledge. You have to serve. You have to engage in service. So rather than throw his hands in his face and said, forget that. I'm not going to do that. I'll get it some other way. You just showed me what a spiritual body is, but I'm not going to go through the proper process. So obviously he was killed, and his whole family, his whole dynasty was annihilated because of being antagonistic to the principles of Krishna consciousness. He stole Ram's wife. He thought he could enjoy Krishna's property separately from Krishna. So the truths, the gems that are available from approaching a spiritual personality in the proper mentality, we have to understand those things. We have to get access to them. We have to experience them. Krishna, he's very merciful. Sometimes we begin, we're just coming straight from the street. We just didn't have 2 cents to rub together. We don't dress properly. We don't know how to look after ourselves. We don't know how to maintain ourselves. Suddenly we're put into the midst of a bunch of transcendentalists. And we have a new hairstyle, we have new clothes, we have new manners of behaving, we have new food stuff, new association, new places to travel and visit. So we're given a glimpse, we're given a drop of mercy. We're taken from that far distant situation and we're given access. A little drop, we understand. Krishna. I've heard this syllable, it enters my ears, my heart becomes alert. Let me do it again, but we can't do it mechanically. So that little drop of mercy, that little realization, that's what motivates us. So then we meet devotees again and we remember, actually, this is a devotee, this is a Hare Krishna representative, this is a servant of the spiritual master who's connected with a greater tradition. What is it that I'm supposed to realize in their association? So first you have to get their association. First you have to be able to stay in their association. First you have to be able to develop that association. So that follows certain rules. And the beginning is respect and humility. So by functioning on that level, then suffering disappears. The miseries abate, they go away. We hear more and more and more. The modes of passion and ignorance, they appear to affect us less. Mode of goodness starts to become more the prominent driving force in our lives. And then we can actually, by functioning on that platform, we can see Krishna face to face, free from doubt. The knot within the heart becomes loosened, becomes slackened. All those things start to develop, and then we're functioning in a different realm. We have to remind ourselves, those little drops of realization, we remind ourselves that actually I was properly situated, I took advantage of the situation, here I am now. How can I continue? How can I get that mercy again? So it takes practice.
Also in connection to this, like getting the blessings of the Vaishnavas. Often when you ask for blessings, the Vaishnava will say, no, I'm not qualified to give any blessings. So what's a good way to get the blessings of the Vaishnavas?
You have to persist. If you recognise that they can give and they just don't try to fob you off with just a little excuse, you can then come back with a counter proposal. You may think that you're not qualified, but I know you've been around for a long time. I know that you have got a spiritual master. I know that you're serving. I know that all these things, they indicate that therefore. But then devotees are humble. They're not going to say, here, take $5,000 worth of my blessings. You have to understand how it is that they're going to present. So you have to understand that they are a person. The spiritual reality is the rasa and the tattva. Tattva is that they're advanced. The spiritual master, he's your Supreme Personality of Godhead, servant of Godhead. He's God, as good as God. But at the same time, he's a person. And he doesn't like spinach, he doesn't like beetroot, he doesn't like frankincense, incense blowing into his face. He doesn't like these things. He does like fresh air. He does like understanding of the scriptures. He does like these slokas presented in this way. He does like these things. So you learn. It said that the brahmachari, he approaches the spiritual master carrying wood, firewood, for him to engage in sacrifice. So he approaches the spiritual master, who then samit panishotiyam, brahmanishtam, who is self-realized in his own way, and he's living a life based on the scriptures. So you understand how all of the things that he does are based on his realization. And what is that realization? How can I serve him? How can I get access to his realization? Because it's said that we should choose a spiritual master who we regard to be like-minded. That will enable us to link, to connect, to yoga, to have that union with the spiritual master. So if he's favourably disposed towards us, and he talks with us at least, sometimes the spiritual master will ignore us, but if he talks to us and says, "Oh Prabhu, I'm not able to give you blessings," then we understand what it is he's actually saying. Come back later, don't embarrass me in front of these people. What is he actually saying? What is the intent behind the language that he's using? Because he's not saying that I'm lower than the straw and street. Anybody who hears my name will take birth in a lower species. These are some of the prayers of the acharyas. So it's not that they're saying that, not that that's the reality. Gopishwara's Babaji, he said that when I depart my body, you should drag my body through the dust of the street. So some people took that literally. They wanted to drag his body through the street. But his one disciple, who understood his mentality, said, no, he's an exalted soul. We have to honour him, and we respect his humility. But our responsibility is to function in relationship to how we understand his position. So offer proper respect. So it seems like a simple little thing, a little exchange, but human beings are complicated. Human beings have the nature of the Supreme. Krishna, one of his pastimes is dealing with Radharani. They word juggle backwards and forwards. That's the way that human beings, perfected human beings, interact. They just deal with language, they deal with intentions, they just explore that realm. Is that okay? So, nobody else is jumping with questions. Tomorrow is Lord Balaram's appearance day. In Mayapur they have a tradition of like a 5-day yajna beforehand, where the speakers, they speak about the personality who's going to appear at different pastimes. So just before class I read about the pastime of Lord Balaram playing chess with Rukmi. It was on the occasion of the wedding. Rukmi wanted to favour or have fun or be friendly with his family members, so he wanted to give his daughter and his granddaughter in marriage to Krishna's family. One of them, the granddaughter, was actually a cousin. So it said normally to marry cousins is not appropriate. There's that, there's the terminology where there has to be like 7 generations difference before.
It's not
Not unborn, it's another thing. So anyway, the affection, the attitude of Rukmini was accepted. So they were coming together. They were having a big wedding. And then what normally happens at a gathering of Kshatriyas is there's some other functions going on. So Lord Balaram, he was challenged to a game of chess. Rukmini had a friend, an ally, called the King of Kalinga. And he was advising him inappropriately that Balaram's not a very good chess player, that you can win, and that you should also regard him as not such a significant person. So Balaram, as a Kshatriya, he took the challenge and he started to play chess, and he lost the first game. The first game was on 100 gold coins. He lost the game. So then he said, okay, 1,000 gold coins, and he challenged him again, and he lost. Then 10,000 gold coins, again he lost. So he lost because he was not so good, but he didn't like the attitude. The King of Kalinga, he was talking and he was showing his teeth, and the other princes, they were laughing, and Lord Balaram was getting agitated. So he said, okay, 100,000 gold coins. And this time he won. The chessman won. But Rukmi, being ill-advised, started saying, hang on, you're just a little cowherd boy. You're coming from that background. What do you know about chess? Actually, you didn't win. You lost. And then the crowd, as in India, if you have a conflict situation, you just start making a lot of noise. And you indicate this and this and this, and then everybody gets on your side, and then the crowd changes, and it appears that you're in the fault, in the wrong. So Lord Balaram, he was cheated. So he said 10 million gold coins, he's going to bet again. And again he won, but Rukmi, getting a little bit proud, a little bit overconfident, he used the tactics again. King of Kalinga was nudging him on, and the princes were laughing. But then a disembodied voice from the sky spoke and said, in all truth, Lord Balaram has won this game, and you are abusing his position. But Rukmi didn't take any notice. So caught up in that demoniac mentality that he could lord it over. The demoniac personality, they think that they can kill the Supreme Personality of Godhead with words or with weapons. So he pushed and he pushed and pushed, and Prabhupada says it was as though he was flaunting himself before inevitable death. So Lord Balaram, just agitated, just got up, took his club in one hand, and just with one blow killed Rukmi. So the king of Kalinga, he thought, okay, I'm next, I better get out of here. And he started running, but Lord Balaram within one pace had captured him, and because he was baring his teeth, he knocked his teeth out with one blow. And the other princes, they also thought, hang on, we better skedaddle, we better get out of here. So they started running, but Lord Balaram, he assessed that their offence was such that he broke their hands and their feet. Expert, just smashed them. And they kept on running on their stumps and stuff like that. In the meantime, Krishna with Rukmini was sitting there. He didn't say anything. He realised that he could not speak up at this instance because Rukmini had just lost her brother. And it was Balaram, his brother, who had committed the heinous activity in the middle of this marriage ceremony. So Lord Krishna, he didn't speak anything. He didn't speak anything. And everything just subsided after some time. He was able to maintain his relationship with both Rukmini and Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram, amazing personality, non-different to the Supreme Personality of God, just slightly different colour, slightly different mood. He appears before Lord Krishna to pave the way for Lord Krishna's entrance. When he was appearing as Lakshman, he appeared after Lord Ram, so he was younger, so he always had to take the position of the younger brother, and he was carrying all sorts of stuff while they were away in exile. He had to carry Sita's cosmetics. She had 3 big bags of cosmetics for 12 years, or however long they were in exile. And she could never use them because they were so scented and so attractive that the demons would discover them. But he had to carry the bags. So he decided that in his next incarnation, he wasn't going to be young, but he was going to be older. So he appeared as Lord Balaram, and then in the next incarnation as Lord Nityananda, he was 20 years older than Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Balaram, still he's non-different to the Supreme Personality of God, but as in Krishna's pastimes we understand, Ishvara Ekale Krishna Arasabhya Britya. He always considers that Krishna is the Supreme Master and he's still the servant. So Lord Balaram has a unique position, and his appearance day tomorrow, half-day fast, and hearing, talking about his pastimes, and Varuni beverage. So some transcendental intoxication awaits us.
I always understand that Balaram is not good at playing chess. I always wonder about that. How can he be not good at it?
Chess is a matter of strategies and judgment.
Yeah.
So he is a little bit clouded, just like he trained up Duryodhana in club fighting. So then, during the battle of Kurukshetra, he disappeared. He didn't want to be involved. because he didn't want to take sides, let Krishna do his business. But then he came along at the very end as Duryodhana and Bhimsen fighting. And he witnessed the whole thing. So he just has his pastimes to play. He is, even though Krishna is full, in the different incarnations he manifests different amounts of those qualities and pastimes in order to fulfill a particular function. So Lord Balaram, he acts like that. Lord Balaram ki
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.